And if you're going my way, then I'll go with you. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by.
So when did you first realize that you had musical talent?
Well, it became apparent pretty early that maybe sports were out of the question. No, I'm just kidding. But my parents and my family and my grandmother were all very, very musical, and music is something that's just always, it was always in our house, and I never really wanted to do anything but music. So I knew, I'm pretty sure I knew really early what I was going to be doing. So.
How long has it been that you've been performing in front of large audiences?
Well, I think my first large audience was like when I was 14. I got to sing the anthems for our Toronto basketball team. I'd won this radio contest to do so. So that was my first taste of, I think it was about 17 or 18,000 people there that night. So that was my first taste of a big scale, and it was interesting.
You're going to be performing live in Montreal. What can an audience expect from a Justin Hines concert?
Well, I really like storytelling, so I love giving a bit of background on where some of the songs come from, and I like just simply connecting with my audience. And I mean this. I truly feel blessed that they've come out and you know, actually want to come see the show. So I try to make it as much about them as it is, you know, about us, and because it really is, you know, a connection that we're trying to establish. So I love performing live and looking forward to the Montreal show.
Now you're challenged with something called Larson's syndrome. Is that something that a person is born with? Yes,
it is something I've had since birth, and that is the nature of it. And basically, in a nutshell, what it is my joints dislocate on a regular basis. So, and which sounds pretty intense, and moments a little painful, but for the most part, it's something that I've just kind of tried to work with rather than try to fight it. So.
How does it affect you as an onstage performer?
I think, you know, we have to be cognizant of certain things that maybe some artists don't really have to think of, like things like accessibility and being able to, you know, get around with enough room and those kind of things. And you know, after a long sort of grueling, you know, schedule, I can get a bit worn out, and I'm definitely feeling it. But for the most part, it's something over the years we've learned to kind of adapt to and just figure out the nuances of it. So we would do the best we can, you know.
Days to Recall is your first CD released in the US, and it's your 4th CD overall. How would you categorize the music on this CD?
Basically, my influences they date back to the late 60s and early 70s. So artists that were telling, you know, stories in their music. So people like James Taylor and Cat Stevens and Jim Croce and Carole King and all these amazing artists that were just conveying something meaningful. So I've always grown up wanting to be that kind of artist, and it's something I'm still working on.
There's a song in the special called Tell Me I'm Wrong. What was the inspiration for that?
Well, actually, I co-wrote that song with a gentleman. I think both of us were, at the time, going through a little bit of self-doubt and some challenges, and I think that whole concept of just questioning what was going through our minds. And my goal has always been to sort of find, you know, light at the end of the tunnel, you know, at the risk of sounding cliche. I think, you know, I've been through some stuff, and we've all been through some stuff, and we all have our baggage, but I can't help but think that at the end of those trying times that there's just something to learn and something to be gained from it. So I've always tried to keep that perspective and you know, translate it through music.
Tell me I'm falling, tell me I'm done, tell me I'm wrapped inside your love, tell me I'm bleeding, tell me I'm lost, or tell me I'm wrong.
Well, you seem to be in a very happy place right now in your life. Would you say so?
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate, yeah. Very much so, yeah.
Does your romantic life affect your music?
I think it has. Growing up, I lived a relatively sheltered life, so I didn't get out a lot, and by the nature of my condition and my situation, it just wasn't realistic for me to go out, you know, traveling and all the time and sort of doing quote-unquote normal things. And I never thought love would necessarily be a part of my reality. So when I finally did meet somebody and get married, I guess about 3.5 years ago now, it definitely changed changed my perspective on a lot of things, and it taught me to be open-minded to the world out there. And it certainly played a big role in my music as well, in terms of having something new to write about, a new muse. So it's been a beautiful thing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, how difficult is it, would you say, to write a good love song?
Wow, love songs have been done so often. I think everybody's at one point or another written a love song, even if you're not a songwriter. So the challenge for me was to write something from a real place, an honest place, to the point where it would stand out a little bit and be a little bit different. So that was my goal, and I wanted it to be honest. So.
And I know now that I don't have to try to be another. It's healing inside with no undercover. I thought love in its glory would never be my truth.
What would you say the best thing about your career is?
I think the best thing about my career is it's fulfilling for me, but I can see that music does so much for other people. And at some point, it's not really about me or any of us performers. It's just about the power of music and just simply connecting with people. And I think music and the arts in general, it's just such a great way to bring people together. It truly is the universal language. And so to just have a small part of that and to be a part of that community and that part of the world that's just an honor. And I'm just trying to enjoy, every moment that it's here. It could all end tomorrow, and if it did, I'll have known that I've really had a great run, and really, really excited about the opportunities I get to have.